Solo traveling made easier with these tips for travel safety. Solo travel can be one of the most rewarding experiences in life, but safety should always be a top priority. The following tips will help you stay safe while exploring the world on your own. Here are some tips to help you out. 1. Preparation is key. When you're solo traveling, the most important thing is to be prepared. Make a plan before your trip, or on the way. It is great to have plans for what you want to see, where you want to stay, and for the activities you want to do. When you make a plan, it helps to organize what is possible, and what is not. It can save time, it can help to avoid disappointment, and it can prevent you from feeling lost. And finally, make sure you have all the necessary documents and travel insurance. 2. Research on your destination and local culture. Before you travel to a new place, it's always a good idea to check up on the local culture and customs. That way, you can make sure to avoid any faux pas. 3. Save up. It's great to be able to save up for a trip before you go so that you can enjoy the experience without worrying about money. Plus, you can start saving for your next trip as soon as you get back. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of planning a trip, but it's also smart to be prepared financially. By saving up for your trip before you go, you'll have time to enjoy the anticipation of your upcoming adventure and not have to worry about catching up financially after the fact. Save up for your travel before leaving and then enjoy the delayed gratification as you start planning for your next adventure. 4. Buy travel insurance. When you travel alone, it's important to have travel insurance in case of an emergency. Travel insurance protects you from any unexpected costs that may come up during your trip. Here are a few tips for finding the right policy. Make sure the policy covers medical expenses and evacuation. Look for a policy with no age limit. Choose a policy that covers pre-existing conditions. Compare policies from different companies. Read the fine print to understand what is and isn't covered. 5. Pack light. Packing light is one of the most important tips for solo travelers. Not only will it save you money on baggage fees, but it will also make it easier to get around. Plus, you won't have to worry about losing anything if your bag gets lost or stolen. 6. Guide to packing a backpack. 1. A backpack is one of the most essential items for a solo traveler. It allows you to have your hands free and also carries all of your belongings. 2. When packing a backpack, make sure to include items that will keep you safe while traveling alone. This includes a map, compass, first aid kit, and a flashlight. 3. It is also important to pack items that will help you budget while traveling. 7. Check the weather forecast. When planning a solo trip, be sure to check the weather forecast at your destination. This will help you pack the appropriate clothing and plan activities around the weather. It's also a good idea to let someone know your travel plans in case of an emergency. And finally, be sure to have a backup plan in case your first choice of accommodation falls through. With these tips in mind, solo travel will be a breeze. 8. Checking daylight hours is also useful. One useful tip for travelers is to check the daylight hours for their destination. In some places, winter days can be short, which can limit sightseeing or outdoor activities. In other places, it gets dark early even though there may still be evening left. Consider how you feel about being out in the dark before deciding to travel to a destination with little daylight. 24-hour daylight or night can also be disconcerting and confusing, but it can also add to the experience of travel. 9. Know your budget. When you're traveling solo, it's important to know your budget inside and out. This way, you can avoid overspending and coming home to a hefty credit card bill. Figure out how much money you'll need for lodging, food, activities, and transportation before you leave. Once you're on the road, keep track of your spending so you don't go over budget. 10. Book solo-friendly accommodation. Booking a solo-friendly accommodation is one of the best ways to make sure you're prepared for a trip. It's important to do your research on the area you're visiting, and make sure that you choose lodgings that have good safety ratings. You can find out more about the safest neighborhoods, as well as any areas you should avoid by talking to locals, or doing an internet search for reviews and travel tips. One way to ensure your safety is to book a top-rated homestay, hotel, hostel, B&B, or small inn. Homestays are usually run by locals who know the area well. They can give you insider tips on what places are worth checking out and where to avoid. Homestays are also great because they allow you to meet people from different cultures and backgrounds, which can really add depth to your trip.